Welcome to another sleep story. As you rest your head and you close your eyes, as you allow the day's worries to fade away, as you breathe deep, allow your mind and imagination to come on an adventure as we read The Midnight Library. In the heart of a quiet town, where the streets glimmered silver under moonlight, a girl named Mara walked home after a long day. She loved reading more than anything. Books made her feel like she could step into someone else's shoes, sail across distant oceans, or meet animals that only lived in dreams. One evening, she noticed a narrow alley she had never seen before. A warm golden light spilled from the end of it, flickering like candle flames. Curious, she stepped closer, and there it was, a library. But it wasn't like any normal library she had ever seen or imagined. The sign above the door read, "The Midnight Library, open when dreams awake." Mara hesitated. Open at midnight? What could that mean? She pushed the door gently, and it swung open with a soft creak, welcoming her in. Inside, the library was enormous. Shelves stretched higher than she could see, filled with books that shimmered with faint light. The floor was soft like moss, and the air smelled of vanilla and rain. Some books even whispered softly as she passed, as if inviting her to touch them. Mara picked up the first book she saw. It was a map. But as soon as she opened it, the floor beneath her began to sway gently. Suddenly, she was aboard a tiny ship, sailing on a sparkling moonlit sea. The waves hummed like a lullaby, and the stars above winked as if they knew she was dreaming. She steered past the islands that glowed softly and sailed alongside whales that leapt like clouds over the horizon. When she closed the book, she was back in the library, heart still racing. So the books don't just tell stories, they take you inside them, she whispered. Mara spent hours exploring. One book carried her to a forest where leaves shimmered silver and hummed soft tunes. Another led her to a tea party with a giant, with squirrels, where they drank tea from tiny cups and laughed at their clever riddles. Each book offered a new adventure, and the library seemed to adjust her curiosity, leading her to places she hadn't imagined. As midnight deepened, Mara noticed a small desk in the corner where an old librarian sat, barely taller than the stack of books. "Oh," the librarian said, smiling, "I see you've discovered our secret. Every book here is a doorway, but it only opens to those who truly listen." "Listen?" Mara asked. "Yes," the librarian whispered. "Listen to the story, but also listen to your heart. The adventure is not just in the book, it is in what you feel, imagine, and carry with you afterwards." Mara nodded, realizing that the library had a gentle lesson. Stories are not just for reading, they are for living. Every adventure, no matter how small, gave her courage and joy and a heart full of wonder. She explored until her eyelids grew heavy. With a soft sigh, she returned the books back to their shelves, whispering a quiet thank you to each one. Then she stepped back into the alley just as the first hints of dawn brushed the sky with pink. From that night on, Mara knew she could always return. The Midnight Library would appear for her whenever she needed it, a magical place where imagination and adventure never ended. She learned something very important that night. She learned that the greatest journeys are the ones that grow your heart as much as they grow your mind. The end.